Hi everybody on Twitch and YouTube. It's me. It's Jason over on the left-hand side, and it's Beeb right in the middle. He's the meat of the sandwich.
Oh, my ambition.
Yeah, I'm obviously a slice of bread, and so is Jason.
I'm white bread.
I'm whole and nutty.
We got mixed slices. This
Yeah.
is a
Wow.
delicatessen.
Yeah, exactly. We're mixing it up just a little bit, just to keep the senses alive and titillated, as they say, right? Just a little
that's
bit
one
of
way to
excitement.
do it.
Yeah, you got to be a little excited. I tell you what I didn't do, which I shouldn't have done. I should have done. I should have updated what is going on Twitch. How's everybody in Twitch? I see Daddy is in Twitch. Hello, Daddy. I see Jason's talking in Twitch as well. What are you doing, Jason? What are you doing?
I'm bringing up the chat so I can help moderate.
Oh my God, what a Chad. What a lad. Thank you, Jason. Just chatting. And then we need to add in podcast and Transformers. Podcast and Transformers. And we'll be getting off... Oh, we won't be getting
Whoa,
off. We'll be getting
okay.
started up with the show soon enough. Maybe not
I was
getting
going to
off.
say I've already finished, so I'm glad.
Really? Already? Damn, Brad.
I
We
know,
haven't been
that was
talking that
quick.
long. Jesus, man. You need
That's
more
all
stamina.
right.
supposed to
for the show.
talk. It's,
You're not even an old guy. You should have another load in you. Come on now.
Oh man, I'm nearly 40. That's dead down there.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good. You got another little cup size in there. I believe in you. It doesn't need to be a super size, mate. It just needs to be a small, a kid's meal.
A pet.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Right. So, guys, as usual, do you have your audacities set up and ready?
Oh yeah, mine is actually.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a pleb and used Audacity, I would, but
Oh yeah, you've got the big boy audio recorder, don't you?
I do.
Oh my god. Jason's always rubbing it in my face that he's got something way better audio-wise than I do. It's really mean.
No.
fancy-
I
fancy
never,
system.
I never rub it in your face.
Every time.
You ask and I tell you.
Every time he's like, ugh, you're using a Yeti microphone. What a plebe. Ugh.
Well,
I'm
that
like,
I
sorry.
mean, come on. You know how I feel about those.
Yeah. Jason
I've
does
got
not
one
like
too.
the Yeti. Yeah,
It's not like
everyone's
Yeti.
got the Yeti.
Everyone's got Yetis.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not that. No, the Yeti's fine. It's the people who use the Yeti, present
Oh,
company
I see what you
excluded, who are you because they either talk into the top of it, which I know Andy is also super irritated by,
Yes.
or they use it in like the most echoey room ever, and they expect it to sound like Brad. You've got enough in your room. I don't hear much echo from you, so
Oh, that's okay.
you're good. But I swear, people do it in like an empty room, and they're like, "Why doesn't it sound good?"
Because of all the echo.
No one knows.
I have no idea what I'm doing with audio equipment. So like the fact that
That
it
took a
sounds
lot
okay
of,
is kind of a bit of a fluke.
Yeah, it took a lot of learning. Let me tell you.
Yeah, there's no easy strategy to getting it either. It's just like whenever you go onto a YouTube video that's telling you about this stuff, it just hits you with loads and loads of information, and you're like, "What? I just plug it in and I press the record button, right?" It's like, no, oh, sweet summer child, no. That's not how this works at all. What a shame.
I'm on Twitch. My friend is on Twitch.
Hey, look at that. Is the video still working? No, it's your faces have stopped moving. So let's refresh them. Yeah, okay, we're moving again. It's weird. Like sometimes when I click, I think when I don't have Discord completely open, it will freeze you guys in place. So I need to keep an eye on that to make sure that you don't turn into statues. But that's okay.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah. Oh
here's
my
my
God,
recording.
Jason.
Here's my recording stuff, by the way.
Oh.
I guess I will rub that in your face.
Oh my God. What is that? Is that Adobe or something else?
No, that's Reaper.
Oh, you tried to get me to use Reaper at one point. For some reason, it didn't take. I tried putting it on my PC, and my PC was like, "No, I can't be bothered." I was like, "Okay,
Did I
that's
really
fine,
try
computer."
to get? I don't know if I really. I shouldn't have recommended it. It can be very complicated.
I should
Yeah.
I'm
do
just an
it.
idiot like that.
You did tell me about Reaper. What's that?
Okay.
Sorry, Brad.
I should use Audition instead, shouldn't I? That's actually much better.
I just use Audacity. It's good enough.
It is. Oh yeah, Audacity for a free open source program is actually
Yeah, it's really good.
baller.
Yeah, don't
It's
let
just-
don't let Jason's big cock intimidate you.
Yeah, I used it for years. It's not bad. Reaper does a lot of cool stuff. I was at one point hoping to get into like voiceover and stuff, but I never got into it. Reaper's great for voiceover.
Yeah, wow. What makes it good for voiceover?
Just the way you can go back in and you can go and punch in, and the way it edits, and you can apply like your your VSTs live and hear it back and stuff. It's very versatile.
Oh, okay, yeah. It sounds a little bit more. You can just do things straight away with it than the manipulation you have to go through on Audacity, which is a lot. There's a lot more steps to it, isn't there? You have to process and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, you can be very proactive in processing your audio and not have to worry about it all at the end.
Yeah, it's not bad. So, Brad, are you recording on Audacity right now? Press that record button.
I am recording on Audition.
Audition. Oh, okay. As long as you've got the thing recording now, then we can maybe start the show. Hopefully.
Just sorting out. Is it just my audio you need, or everyone's audio?
Just yours. Jason's got us covered with the everybody.
Oh, I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah, just my audio is fine.
Nice. Okay. Sweet. I like. There was just a close up of intense Brad processing face, so the audience got to enjoy that.
Stare at the screen like, what do I need?
Intense, Brad.
Exactly. All right. I will mute us all, and then I will play
Okay.
the music. Okay. So, chat. Welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. Let's roll some music.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Decade Andy, and I'm joined this week by Mr. Fabulous Man himself, Mr. Jason. He's back like a lovable Care Bear once more. Hello, Jason.
A lovable Care Bear who apparently is not relevant, I learned earlier today.
That's right, and you need to remember that. Never forget.
Always. Always.
And we are joined this week by the special man himself. He is the sexy beeb of the Transformers YouTube community and many other things, and successful YouTuber, Exilion XLR, or Beeb. Brad, as he's known. Hello, Brad.
Hello, you spoil me, sir, with these descriptions. I think I must spoil you with a rendition of "Nobody Does It Better" in the style of Tony Thrussell. Nobody does it better.
Yeah. That was good. That was solid. I like it. Yeah. How's it going, guys? How you all doing? Brad, how's it going? It's been a while. We've had you on a Moonbase Woo Woo like years and years ago talking about Gundam.
Woo Woo.
Yeah.
Gundam Woo Woo was like, that must be going back like 4 years.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, probably.
A long time ago.
Long time.
Yeah, it's I'm excited to be on Moonbase again.
Yeah.
Moonbase and me go back a long, long way.
Yeah, you were there around the old days before we even hit the triple
2009.
digits. Oh, fuck me. 2009.
Time.
Jesus Christ.
In that Moonbase 2 meet in Birmingham in 2010. That was
Oh, my God.
that was a while ago when we were youthful.
Yeah, youthful and dancing all over the shops. It was good times.
Everything's good.
That's good.
It's just good to talk to you.
Yeah. And Jason, how about you? How are you doing, Jason? You doing good this week?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't super exciting. Just prepping for stuff for next week and things like that. So nothing super exciting, but I've been fine. I've been mostly healthy. I'll be more healthy next week, but
No bungee jumping. No cliff diving.
No. I'm
Spelunking?
not pulling a. No.
Oh.
Maybe someday I can fly out to England. We can do a wacky weekend with all that in it.
Hey, that'd be great. You can go spelunking, and I can watch from like somewhere else.
Oh, so you'll be the Chris abroad of the. Okay, got it.
Spelunking, Mr. Brad, is when people decide that they don't like the outside world and go into incredibly tight caves, and they go through the very tight cave systems, and sometimes you can get trapped and die.
Terrifying.
Yeah, have you seen the movie Descent?
Yeah.
It's that. That's spelunking, but usually with less monsters, I think.
I'm going on a school trip in 2 weeks for a week, where we go caving and all the teachers draw straws. And obviously the short straw teachers have to go caving because caving is bloody awful.
It's rough.
Terrifying. Last year though, my head teacher had to go caving and he was the biggest out of all of us.
Oh, no.
He's like 6 foot something and like 7 foot wide. Just a big guy. Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause if he could make it, the kids felt really safe that day because they're like, well, if he can be down here, we're no problems. Like.
Well, that's the thing. As a kid, like caving, that's not as bad as if you're an adult. When you're older, your joints are shitter. You're way bigger, and you can get stuck easier. Kid, they're like cats. They're made of glue. They just kind of go around really tight objects anyway, so they'll never get stuck, right?
Exactly. They just slide through.
Yeah. It's like a lovely butter.
It's more fun. Whereas they're not aware of the several 100,000 tons of rock above their head, or conscious of the fact that that's there. They just see a small gap to climb through.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good old time. See, I think, like, I've seen people go into big caves, like the very famous caves where it's, like, massive and open, and it's almost like an underground city. I'm like, I'll do that, because that looks really interesting.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, that looks great. If you tell me to, like, go under that water and hold your breath for, like, 2 minutes, and then there's, like, a really small pocket of air to come up, you take one breath because there's someone behind you, then you got to go back down for another 2 minutes straight ahead. But it's really tight. I'm like, no, I'm good. No. Someone
I'll stay.
I like people will go, oh, you're just a coward for not wanting to do that. I'm like, no, I don't want to die in a getting stuck somewhere. I've seen people get stuck in like YouTube videos for spelunking. I'm like, no, you don't want to be that guy or girl who gets stuck spelunking. You don't.
That would be the worst.
Yeah, because everyone's going to make fun of you for being fat, and they're going to make fun of you for crying and shitting your pants in a cave. and
I'm
it's
not taking the margarine with you, which is clearly like something you should do.
it's like, oh, for this school trip, who holds the margarine?
Well, we've custom made tan fur margarine pouches for our lapels.
Oh no!
So everyone takes a little bit of margarine, and if someone gets really stuck, then we've got the Castrol GTX.
Hey, that's good.
That's
Jason,
a full
do
bottle.
you know what margarine is? Because you're American, you don't know things that are very obvious. And
You mean margarine, right?
yeah, margarine. Yeah, like the lady.
Yeah, margarine.
We're here,
I know
guys.
it's the lesser butter.
We're here to talk about Transformers, believe it or not. We'll be talking about what has been going on in people's lives and what people have bought later. But we have very, very interesting news. And strangely enough, kind of related to school, kind of. Because the first story of the day is not that. That's what we'll be talking about later. Never mind that. You didn't see anything there because there was no lighting. What we're going to be talking about first is the Transformers movie, 1986 Tin Titans lunchbox, and a thermostat. Which is just like you can go back in time and be a little kid and have your packed lunch with your two chocolate fingers, and that was all that you needed. You didn't need 5 or 6 fingers to be satisfied until you're an adult, and then fingers aren't shit. They're terrible. You just have an entire box. What's that?
Where did we go with 5 fingers and being satisfied as an adult?
Yeah. You used to get like the little mini finger packs, right? And
Oh,
there used
right,
to be
okay.
2
Now
in there.
we're talking culinary-wise.
Yeah. There were 2 little fingers in there, and you were fine as a kid.
that.
You eat them, you were good. Adult, 5. No, not good enough. Need way more.
It's like fridge raiders. Nobody, you need 7 packs of fridge raiders, and that's 20 quid's worth.
Yeah, exactly.
Spot
It's
on.
terrible. Now,
Spot
you
on.
could say that's not the point of what this is about, but I think it is. Guys, Jason, we'll start off with you. You like eating food because you're alive. Do you like storing your food? And would you store your food in a metal box with transforming robots on them?
I like how you covered up the eating food comment, not by my size, but because I'm a living human being. Nice.
Well, it's
Don't
true.
think I didn't see what you're doing there.
What did I do?
Sir. Yep. I see. Yep, sure. Also, first a correction, it does not include a thermostat.
You have to buy that
Your child
separately.
Your child cannot stick a thermometer up their butt to take their temperature in the
Oh.
middle of lunch. It's definitely a thermos, which contains hot or cold liquids.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, potato, right? Exactly.
I get the mistake made at the restaurants all the time.
I'm
Ordering
sure that's
thermostats.
awkward.
Barbecue sauce thermostat, please.
Yeah, exactly. You
How would you
gotta,
like that done?
yeah, spicy for
would
you
be
and
good.
me.
Yeah, and then you know how hot or cold your food is, so that would be helpful.
There you go.
But aside from that, so this would be a nice little thing since my 8-year-old just went back to school. Except I can guarantee you that a metal lunchbox would be absolutely destroyed by him by the end of the school year. So probably not the best investment I could make.
Wait, how would it be destroyed?
Oh, the kid destroys everything. I'm sure it's tin, so I'm sure if you drop it once or twice, all the corners get bent up and.
It's right, kids do destroy everything.
I never broke
Yes.
my lunchbox. Did you guys break your lunchbox as a kid? Kids?
Probably.
I had
What?
a mask plastic one, so it was like it's like ABS, that stuff. It's unbreakable.
Yeah, we were definitely plastic when I was. From what Brad said at the pre-show, we're the same age, so yeah, we kind of were together with that one. But yeah, it's nice. It's stuff like this. For $25, it's not bad, but I don't really have room for it for to stick with my collection or anything. But it's a nice little bit of nostalgia, and it's nice that even though it has the movie poster on the front, there still is if you're a Prime fan like me, you can still see Optimus Prime on the thermos inside. So it's not a bad little thing. I like it. Just not something I need.
What about you, Brad? Do you want this in your life? Do you want to store a little saucy sandwich in here with a bit of jam on the inside?
To be honest, I'm just glad it's cheaper than the chair you guys talked about last week.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, those were. I mean, if I got it, I'd use it, but I wouldn't buy it because, like, remember a couple of years ago there was someone, it might have been on the Moonbase 2 forums or on YouTube, who bought this kind of stuff as like a collector, and then he went into wrapping paper and like those tiny little party toys and like paper plates for and it got out of hand. It is lovely. It's the kind of thing I'd like to get bought for me, if you know what I mean. If one of the kids came in at the end of the year and handed me that, I'd be well chuffed with it, and I would use it, but I don't think I'd buy it.
That's fair. I could see that. I mean, I like the fact that it's been embossed. I think that's kind of neat. Like pack lunch boxes back in my day were just like the artwork was just a bit of paper or like a sticker on the front, and that was it. And that would always come off because you wash it and it slowly rubs off over time, and it just gets embarrassing by the end of its life. This might have a little bit more life to it. I don't know how good the thermos is, or the thermostat, or the thermometer. Yeah.
I always think they look cool if they start to rust as well. There's nothing wrong with a bit of, it gives it that kind of like patina, almost. Yeah,
nice little patina.
Retro look.
Yeah, it also gives a nice extra flavoring to like your apple and your sandwich.
It's seasoning, isn't it? Just rub your apple on the rust.
Yeah, a bit of oxidization. What harm has rust caused anybody consuming it? No one says anything. Perfect.
I'm just thinking of all the times I've eaten rust. There's at least 7.
That's concerning. What? Okay, no, that's fine. Everybody has the thing, You could have gone on the show embarrassing. What was it called? Where it showed like people eating weird things, and there was this person who ate packing foam
and stuff like that.
Yeah. You could have gone on that.
Licking like iron ore.
Yeah.
An orange face because I rubbed it all over. And then it might turn into a fetish, and I'd end up on Pornhub, and
Look,
you've got to be careful how you present that kind of stuff.
To be fair, I don't think there are many people who facilitate that. So you could, hit a new market that we just don't know about.
As long as it stays like strictly mouth consumption, I think if you start rubbing rust anywhere else, then it gets a bit weird, doesn't it?
Really, that's where it gets weird. Okay, no, that's fine.
It's like eating What's-Its, but like because it's covered in orange stuff.
That's true. That's how you get into it, isn't it? That makes way more sense. Right? You start off on What's-Its, and someone at school switches it out for iron ore. Easy mistake to make. I see how
That's
it is.
That's why you should always wash your hands after eating What's-Its.
Yeah,
before you do anything else.
Yeah.
They're like Cheetos, basically.
Yeah, don't wash your hand after going to the toilet, but wash your hand after What's-Its. That's what you learn as a kid. Right? I'm sure it is.
Because we've all been handed that control pad after someone's eaten What's-Its, and it's got like the congealed sweat and What's-It residue on it.
I remember back in my youth, I wouldn't say who it is, but I remember there was a kid I knew who would eat What's-Its, and then they'd like pick up the stuffed animal, and the stuffed animal just had like orange on them. And it was a white bear as well. There was just like yellow handprints all over this white bear.
Oh,
I was like,
time.
All right, well,
That was nice that you didn't specifically call it Mikey like you could have.
I didn't. If it was Mikey, it would have been green because he's Irish. If you wanted to buy a thermos or a lunchbox, you could do it in November. Apparently, it's coming out on the 30th of November. Isn't that dandy? It's coming by Surreal Entertainment, who I'm sure make a lot of these fancy things. So if you want to go and get one, it's coming. Jason, take us away with the next bit of news. Why not?
Alrighty. So we have upcoming here. So Magic Square, who is a purveyor of both tiny and Legend and Masterpiece scale toys. We have their MS02 Light of Peace, which is their Optimus Prime 2.0 prototype and test shot images. So this is their first colored test shot of their second version of their Masterpiece scale Optimus Prime, which is more of the animation style, like we saw with MP44. And as we can see, so the images show us it's cartoon accurate. It's pretty similar to their original Light of Victory, which was the name of their original Optimus Prime. And there's just a little bit of changes. Switched up the looks like the backpack's a little a little smaller, compacted a little bit. There's an opening for the Matrix, and not sure if it's going to come with a trailer. There's no images of a trailer, although actually from the images period, I can't really tell if there's even a place for a trailer. I'm assuming they would make it so you could hook up a trailer if you have one to it. We'll see. But yeah, there's so yeah, this is just the second version of their MP Optimus Prime, the more cartoon accurate, which I believe this one actually preceded MP44, if I remember correctly. And it was also like half the price of MP44. Maybe even actually, this might have only been like 100 something. And MP44 was what? Almost 4?
I think it was like 300, wasn't it? 300-ish?
Yeah, so it was less than half of what MP44 was, and is 90% or 95% of the way of the looks of MP44. So I know personally for me, I didn't jump on it originally, but I don't know, because I have a lot of Optimus Primes, and I have MP10, which of course is a good toy, but it doesn't accurately portray the cartoon model. So for the guy who doesn't buy many Transformers anymore, this actually looks like it might be a good way to get a decent animation level Optimus Prime. Yeah, so I might. We'll see what I'm sure they're going to increase the pricing, because global stuff and inflation and things like that. I'm sure it'll be probably a little more expensive, but as long as it's nowhere near the level of MP44, I could certainly consider it. So it'd be interesting to see what it's going to end up being price-wise and stuff when they officially announce that. I will ask Brad, because I don't like Andy at all. Never have, never will. So I'll go to Brad first. Yeah, so what do you think of this? And if you want to expound on your feelings, if you have any, or if you've ever been tempted by third-party Transformers at all.
I've dabbled in third-party Transformers back when City Commander came out from Fans Project, and I've had T-Bone as well from the Stunticon set they did. I don't buy them anymore just because of the price, and I'm way too clumsy to own third-party Transformers because my fat hands break them or will break them. Goodness knows how my Gundam survived. But I actually, my first thought when I looked at it was like, oh, that transforms, because it's so animation accurate, like the latest NP Prime. But I'm not that fussed on. I don't know if I like the animation accurate stuff because it doesn't look like it transforms, or if I prefer stuff that looks like it transforms. I used to there was back in the IDW comics in the Asian series, there was a guy called EJ Su drawing the Transformers, and he always drew them with kind of like the sensibility of they should look like they transform. So I always kind of preferred to go that way, and the latest Chug stuff really just like satisfy my bubble on that. I don't know if that's a saying, satisfy my bubble.
I think it could be.
No.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, just it does the bubbles.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. I think it's lovely, but it's kind of like out of my price range for what I'm prepared to spend on Transformers, and I think that Earthrise Prime is like my ultimate Prime because it's a toy, and I haven't broken it yet.
Yet.
Yes, yeah. My fat clumsy fingers haven't broken it yet. I do throw them quite a lot as well, though.
It's just rage, isn't it? You got to allow that frustration sometimes.
Or excitement sometimes.
Yeah, Earthrise Prime is definitely. That was probably one of the last ones I ever bought, and I've definitely enjoyed that one. So, and it's interesting. You're the first person I've really heard talk about the idea of not enjoying them as much when they actually don't look like they transform, which I never thought of, and I can see why. Some people might not love the direction, and well, aside from the price, but might not love the direction Masterpiece is going because of that. So that's really interesting. But yeah, these really don't scream turns into a truck, which I never looked at it that way, but you're absolutely correct. Andy, can you bring anything even half that interesting to the conversation?
No,
right
this is why we brought Brad in, because he's got a unique look at things. He likes the Armada trilogy. It's like it's weird, right? So yeah. In terms of me, like the idea of like it's what we've always talked about for the longest time, and we'll keep iterating it. The focus is just G1. Animation accurate, and then it's either animation accurate or toy accurate. It's a very big divide in the fandom which ones to go for. How well do I think this has turned out? It looks pretty solid. I hear Magic Square have done a good job. Like between this and the New Age, like Legends Prime, I saw a review where the guy went, they're both good, but they both have problems. You won't go wrong getting either of them. I assume this isn't just an upscale of the Legends figure. I assume it probably does a little bit more, because it would be disappointing if it was just the same.
It's not.
That's
yeah.
kind of a hack, isn't it? If you
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
it.
it
Right.
Hack.
could be the case, but I'm hoping it's not. I mean, it's a masterpiece scaled Optimus Prime. It's another one. please, something different as always. But the third party, as usual, I get it. How many repaints will we see of it? Would Jason buy one, or would Jason buy one if it was the Shattered Glass version? What would you do, Jason? Would you go for the Optimus Prime, or would you hold out for a repaint?
See, okay, that's a good point.
Because you know what's going to happen. Like, repaints almost always happen, especially with third-party toys.
Sure. It depends. If the price, if the price is, I think if it's priced for the way the original one is, I could consider it for sure. If it's a little higher than that, then I might hold out for the Shattered Glass. And if the Shattered Glass just doesn't look as great on this model, because Masterpiece hasn't done Shattered Glass in it yet either, I don't think. So we've never really seen cartoon accurate Prime with Shattered Glass. I mean, just picture him purple. It's not that hard, of course, but if it's a little more than I'd like to spend right now, I would probably watch for Shattered Glass. But if it's anywhere close to MP44 price, and I don't care what colors they give it, it ain't happening.
Well, the two of you have both talked about prices. What are we assuming the price is going to be on this, Brad? If you would guess, not what you would spend, what do you think it would probably go for? Let's go without trailer. Let's assume it won't have a trailer, because then it'll make it more reasonably priced as well.
It's like a regular size Masterpiece figure. I'm guessing, like, as you say, Magic Square usually go for about 190, don't they? That's my ballpark guess, but I have no idea on the prices.
Okay.
Maybe 190.
Okay,
150?
Jason, what do you think?
So going by the Shozi store, shout out Jobby. The original, the Light of Victory, is actually only $110 US.
Oh,
so
wow.
not bad.
Okay.
No, 105. I'm sorry. So I'm going to hope that there isn't more than like a $10-15 price. Even that, I'd like them to keep it about the same price, because it does definitely, it's not huge differences between the two of them, but I do think the newer one does look better. It looks a little more filled out.
Yeah. Maybe it'd be 150. I could see that.
I hope not. I could too. I hope not. I hope they keep it. If they keep it around the same price, then if I don't go for the original, I would definitely shoot for Shattered Glass.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Yeah. Do we have anything else to say about Magic Square's Optimus Prime 0.2.0? No? All right.
I think they've, going back to what I said, I think, it's harder to make it look like it doesn't transform, but it's almost like just too much custard,
Yeah, okay. It's been buried. Like the fancy engineering's been buried underneath the stuff. I could see that. It probably makes it a lot more complex as well, and a lot more fiddly to actually transform, to make it look like it doesn't transform in a strange way.
There might be a lot more of that, faking stuff as well, cheating, where they have, a windscreen hidden in his butt, and then it comes out of his,
Is that an issue for you? Do you mind cheating, or do you not mind it?
I think, you have to get over it nowadays, because they've been doing it well for so long now. It's it's just passive. Whereas, maybe 6-7 years ago, you're like,
Are you on Twitter angrily tweeting people saying, just get over it, millennials, Gen Xers?
Just leave the Transformers alone. Let them cheat.
I've never minded. I don't mind them cheating. I think it makes life a lot easier for the designers as well, and they can usually make a nicer looking figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yep. How often you actually transform into the thing?
Yeah, exactly. Ha, losers.
Breaking. Wait.
What?
Light of Victory. Let me see. Is this? Oh no, I thought they had a price for the new one on Shozi, but they don't. I'm sorry. My bad.
Jason got excited.
I'm wrong. Well, it was $10 less than what I said. I was excited.
Oh. Well, next up is the Fans Hobby MB-15A, the Powerlynx Armada Optimus Prime. So we knew that they were doing Naval Commander. That's out now from Fans Hobby. And they went, hey, but just do a repaint into the Powerlynx version. So why not, right? So, if big fans of the show, everybody knows that they got powered up repaints because, extra money. And the cool thing is, well, maybe not a cool thing, but I like the fact that there is an extra head in here. Do we have an image of it? There it is. So you can either have him with the normal Optimus Prime face, or you can have him with the red face. Now, Brad, again, you're the expert here. Is this like the difference between the toy and the animation model? Is that the reason for this?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
It's. I don't actually remember in Powerlynx in the show, but I'm sure that was the case because obviously lots of the other ones did.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Prime actually did, but obviously there was the toy released.
Well, no, I meant specifically if his faceplate was red, because he definitely got a Powerlynx version. I just couldn't remember if the toy had the red faceplate and the animation model didn't. Because I think the toy had the red faceplate, but again, the animation model didn't, which I guess which is why it's here. Apart from that, everything's what you would expect. You got his trailer, you got gold spark plug bug, whatever he was called. Yeah. Not gold spark plug bug.
He's not as chromey.
No, he's a gold bar. He's the gold bar colours, those biscuits. Gold bar biscuit. That's it. We've used that standard before. We'll go back to the gold bar biscuit.
Everything's good with biscuit references.
Exactly.
It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm just holding off this kind of stuff because of obviously the impending armada wave of figures that are coming from Hasbro.
Well,
again, because it's just a case of it's expensive and I'll break it. And that Takara, but we were talking about it just before the show, weren't we? That Takara prototype that was released a couple of years ago. I'm just clinging onto the thought of that before I spend big on any of these. And I know by the time that isn't released and I want one of these, then they'll be gone or ridiculously expensive. But that is life. That is toy buying life, isn't it?
You don't fall into FOMO then?
It's got to a point where I feel like I've got rid of so much and haven't missed it. And I've got so much I can enjoy. It's just kind of like, well, if I don't have it, no one's going to come and check.
But you'll know.
But I can't enjoy it at the same time.
You'll know you don't have it.
That's the battle that goes on in one's mind, isn't it?
It'll be like 2:00 in the morning. You'll be in bed. You'll be looking up at the ceiling and just go, "Fuck, shit,
damn it, it's not here." And then I can construct one out of the congealed dribble that will be on my chin.
Wow, that's some art. That people would say that's weird and sad. I'd say that's art.
I'd have to learn how to do that first.
Well, multiple nights. You'll get there in the end. I believe in you. I've got faith.
I'd have to collect the residue for over a couple of months, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could get your friends to donate as well.
Yeah, as long as they haven't been eating What's-Its.
Well, obviously. My issue with the photos we've got here is we obviously know he's going to combine into super mode. There are no super mode photos. I'm not saying he's not going to take a super mode, but I think it would be nice just for promotional material to do for this week, because I don't want to talk about this next week and go, hey, look, we got the super mode, hey! I would have liked to have said, here's the full package, here's what the super mode looks like, it's a solid package. We know the toy's going to be good. I just would have liked to have seen him combined and with his shitty base completely opened as well. Let's not joke, the base isn't very good, but I would have liked to have seen it. Jason, what do you think of the Powerlynx boy? You're a fan of Transformers.
Well, specifically, I'm a fan of Fan Hobby because I have Power Baser right there behind me.
Do you have the Naval boy, Naval Commander?
No, Power Baser, the Power Master Prime.
Do you have the Galvatron?
Nope.
I thought you said you were a fan.
I did have the Overlord on pre-order at one point, but then COVID. And I didn't have $250 to burn on a toy, even though he would have looked. I distinctly remember being with Diecast at TFCon in DC, and we saw the resin models of Overlord, Fans Hobby Overlord, and we were both. First of all, it was huge, and we were both just like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" I wanted it, but I just couldn't afford it when it came out. But I know I've always been and. Yeah, screw you. I've got their Scourge. I've got their Repugnus. I've got their crap. I can't remember the next.
Oh, you can't remember. You can't remember the name. Oh,
Grotesque. I have their Grotesque. And shut up. So actually, I have 5 or 6 of their toys. So I think I'm a fan.
Wow, why didn't you marry them? Jesus, calm down, man. It's not
They
a
won't return my
competition.
calls. I don't know what to tell you.
We were saying before the talk as well that with this coming out, guaranteed Galvatron repaint coming out as well, guaranteed.
Oh yeah,
Which makes sense.
Megatron was beautiful as well, wasn't it? It was,
Yeah.
it was horrific, that Megatron.
Yeah, the Megatron toy seemed to. I think both of these two. I don't know, Jason. You can probably tell us how well the other ones were received. I think were they well received?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think I haven't really heard anything bad about them. My own experiences have been fine. I did have an issue with when I got Power Baser. There was a little bit of, just because it's such a big toy, there was a little bit of too much spacing when you put Prime into the trailer part. Combine them,
right.
And they replace it instantly. They were like, nope, it's fine. We'll send you out a new one. So that was not at all a big deal or anything. But no, I think they look great. They're really built. You want sturdy joints that don't feel like you're gonna break when they feel good. They don't feel like they'll break when you move them, but they're definitely sturdy enough to hold the poses and stuff.
Yeah.
They're masters at that.
Would Brad break
but
it? That's the question. Would Brad break it?
Clumsy
I don't think so.
hands.
I don't. I think he'd be okay. And of
Be
course,
really
all this.
careful with it.
Yeah. Oh, well, here's the thing. I'll tell you. Every time I pick a Power Baser, like he's a heavy boy. These are well built, heavy toys. Which is why this guy's probably going to be like almost $250 US. But and again, this just reminds me of the Armada Prime that hopefully we'll see that we did see years ago.
You two hopeful boys with your dreams.
Just want it.
Well, I think a lot of people have written it off, rightfully so. But because we're getting a new Armada Starscream, I think we might start seeing some of these, these trilogy toys start coming out again. And they already have it. They have something to go off of. That is, you release that, Hasbro, and I guarantee, or Takara, I guess. I guarantee you, I will actually get a first party, Optimus Prime again. But
wow.
But yeah, I have Power Baser, so I'm happy with it. I don't need to take up a lot of room with getting these big boys. But if you want a well built toy, and if you're a fan of, the aesthetic for Armada, then just get them. You won't regret it.
That's a big endorsement. I like it. I'm still waiting for them to announce Tidal Wave. We saw the prototype ages ago for Tidal Wave. We've seen the prototype for Jetfire. Maybe the idea is to get the repaints out first and then bring in the new figures. Hopefully,
They learn from the best, Hasbro.
Jason, you want to take us on to the next thing? Because I don't think there's anything else really to talk about. No, we don't have any price and we don't have really an idea of when it's coming out either. So it'll just be at some point we'll learn more. What's next?
Yeah, I'm sure probably by the end of the year they'll have something like pre-orders listed. Up next, we have the first stock image of the Takara Tomy Mall website exclusive, I think. I don't know if it's exclusive. But it's their Transformers movie, or Masterpiece movie, Bumblebee movie, MPM-12N, which is Nemesis Prime. So, it's Prime with Nemesis colors. What more do you want? It'll be listed for about 24,200 yen. That's approximately $128 US, which, because boy, the yen is weak right now. Actually, wow, that's a
really
a big
weak
difference.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, when you don't open your country for 2.5 years and you're scared to do it. Got it. I watch so much Japan stuff anymore. It's crazy. And it's got a release date of March 2023. So about 6 months from now. And yeah, it's the movie Masterpiece, which has the weird. I don't understand what those weird triangles are at the top of the truck mode. I don't know why they're there. I don't understand why they have them there, but they do. But yeah, if you like the movie Masterpiece Prime, hopefully it doesn't. I know that the Prime had a couple issues with, I believe, the front intake there at the front of the truck. I think there was something about it where it wouldn't go completely flat, or there might have also been a problem with like connections on the sides of the truck motors as well. wasn't this the toy that people had to like take a Dremel to make fixes to? I can't remember. I think it was one of the primes.
Maybe you won't have to do it on this version.
I hope not. That'd be crazy.
It gets angry at you because it's the Nemesis Prime as well. If you do that, just
Yeah.
one of those Nemesis Prime hazards.
You might be into it though. You know, that's why he's evil.
Oh, that would be,
he likes the
see,
Dremel.
could that be even worse though? Like his expectations would go right up. Sorry, I'm derailing into some weird.
No,
topics
it's
tonight.
fine. Sometimes performance issues are a thing. Not for you, for Nemesis.
I mean, yeah, you spend a lot of time being evil. You can't do it all the time, right?
Yeah, well, you'd hope not. Does anybody else think that when you look at the front of Nemesis, he looks a little bit like a Thomas the Tank Engine character? You know, he's got the big eyes, he's got a big mouth. He looks quite sad as
God.
well.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh,
that,
God.
Is he? He's just like,
I'll never unsee
Sodo.
Yeah.
I hate Sodo.
Yeah. I'm impressed that
Why
you
is
know
my
that
truck
Thomas the
bed so
Tank
long?
Engine's land. I didn't know for the
Yeah, I
longest
didn't.
time.
He does look really sad.
He does. Well,
just
he's
like,
evil.
oh, I'm not a train.
Maybe he's not evil. Maybe he's just emo. That could be a thing.
Oh, for sure.
That could be it.
Nemesis Prime has always been emo. What are you talking about? Absolutely.
Like Jason said, this mold did have loads of issues. I remember one of my really good mates had it on pre-order, and he never pre-orders Masterpiece figures. And he decided to get this, but then cancelled it after all the issues because it was late with the people Luckily, it was late with the people he pre-ordered it with, and he was like, "Nah, don't want it anymore." So yeah, it was not received that well, despite looking quite nice.
Yeah, it doesn't look too
There's
bad.
something nice about it. I don't want to go into that cliche thing of everything looks better when it's black, because I think everything looks better when it's beige. But
Wow,
yeah,
beige?
He's nice. Yeah, beige. Beige is like
Alright.
the magic 1990s safety house decoration color, isn't it?
Beige walls,
it is.
yellow carpets.
Yeah, exactly that.
Solid. All right. Yeah. I see it. It's a little expensive, but I suppose it's kind of what you would expect for a Masterpiece figure, right? At this point.
What's it
Yeah,
going
I
for?
think.
Just 150.
Yeah, one USD was 168. So I believe originally it was the original Prime was a little cheaper. So probably some inflation plus Hasbro. God, remember how much you were paying for toys even 3 years ago versus now? Well,
No, don't remind me.
yeah, really. This is just, even if they do Shattered Glass, I probably wouldn't get this just because I have the Studio Series version of Bumblebee Movie Prime, and that is a great freaking little Voyager. That's a
It's
good
great,
toy.
isn't it?
Yeah,
toy.
I don't need the Masterpiece, especially when I don't understand the little horns on top of the truck mode. It's so dumb.
I think the bed looks quite long as well. I don't know if that's just me seeing it, but it looks like the wheels look too small compared to the rest of the truck bed.
I would
It looks
agree
a little
with that. Yeah.
scale wise. It looks a bit weird. You're right. Like that Studio Series Prime is just it's everything you need. That when it comes to that Prime is brilliant.
At least we know this isn't a possible rumor. You know, for the longest time, these were possible rumors of a possible figure that was possibly coming out. It came out. Who knew?
Yeah.
The biggest surprise ever.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Possible rumors of a Prime repaint.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm sure we'll get even more possible figures coming up in the future, which I'm looking forward to. Shall we move on, or is there anything else to say on an evil repainted Nemesis O Primo?
I'm good.
All right.
All good.
All right, next up, we have a little bit more Masterpiece news. It's the MPG-04 train Suken, who is, unsurprisingly, another train bot. Oh, we got a video for it. Wasn't that fancy? We can play that. Look at that. The abilities of YouTube. So, people love trains in Japan. Who doesn't? Why? Oh, this is 6 minutes. Jesus Christ. Why are there Zoids in this video? Why are there
I don't know
Zoids?
what's coming.
Just
Oh
fluffing
my
it
God.
up, aren't they?
I guess this is just like an advertisement for, I guess, a lot of things. I guess including Zoids. What did I see? Hard drive? I thought I saw something rude. I thought it was a DICK more than a drive.
They
I
just
saw
snuck it in there.
Hard Diaclone.
That might be it.
Do you have issues with hard Diaclone, Andy?
I do. They scare me, like, in a sexual manner. It feels like I'm being dominated. So, this guy's coming out. We'll have... What was this? To top it all, we have teaser images for the final Masterpiece train bots, which is Saizen and Kaen. Everybody remembers the train bot names, and they have been officially revealed in July and April of next year. I guess this was just a reveal of the train bot, and I'm sure at some point in this video we'll find it. But let's just look at the. I guess this was the highlight from the video. Here he is. He's a train. He's one of those old school kind of trains. Oh, these are the teaser images for the last two. And then I guess all the train bots will be out. Mr. Brad, you like trains? I'm sure you've ridden one, right? You've been on one.
I have ridden at least one in my life.
That's good.
I've been so tempted by these. So this is the third one, isn't it?
They've had.
That's that.
Yeah, I think it's the third or the fourth. No, it must be the fourth.
Is it the fourth? I'm losing track.
I think
the third was the bullet train, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the fourth one now because there's only two left to show. So yeah, and I think it's a 6 trains in total, I think.
Crumbs. I'm glad I didn't invest in any of these then. Oh, invest, that's not... I'm glad I didn't invest in Transformers. I'm glad I didn't buy any because I thought there was just 3. And I was tempted by the first one.
Oh, I thought too, yeah.
You're thinking of Rail Racer from RID. He was 3 trains.
Yeah, I assumed it was the same thing. I did assume there was just 3 of them, but there's 5.
Yeah, this is old school G1.
Absolutely gorgeous. And this reminds me of like the trains that North Korea use, which I believe are German made.
Oh.
It's just that beautiful kind of like 1970s, I think it's 1970s. I don't want to say aesthetic, but I'm going to say aesthetic.
Oh my
it's
God.
gorgeous. They're all gorgeous so far, but the 2 retro ones just look like they're chugging through Eastern Europe like Eastern European trains do. And, it's beautiful, but I again can't afford it.
I think this one has a bit more of a standout look to it just because it's green and orange and a bit of grey. It's good solid colours on it. The previous 2 we've kind of talked about on the show before have just been a bit bland, I think. But I think that's an issue generally with how the train bots unfortunately look. They look a little bit boring, generally speaking, like the aerial bots. Maybe a little bit... are they better or worse?
The aerial bots are boring, aren't they?
They are.
Boring.
Are the train bots more boring, equal to, or less boring than the aerial bots? Jason, what do you think?
I would vote for the train bots are more.
You say more boring. What makes them more boring for Jason?
Not by much. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just because they know that trains are going to sell like crazy in Japan. They're not. This one, like, in going to what Brad was saying earlier about knowing being able to tell when a toy transforms. I think this one's a little too far into the direction of knowing it transforms by the giant panels on the back of it. Like, that definitely turns into something that's a square or a rectangle. No doubt about that. I don't know if maybe because it's trains, they'll sell. They're like, we won't work too hard on the panels for this one. Looks good, but dude's got wings. I don't think he had a Red Bull. I don't know. But
I think his design's always been that. I think that's just one of his design aesthetics, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that could definitely be the fact that I'll be honest, the train bots weren't exactly something I was super cognitive of ever. I'm aware of them, but I couldn't tell you who's who or what or anything like that. But,
no, that's fair.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Plus I like Superion as a combiner so much that I give the aerial bots a little more of a pass than some people might.
Okay,
but. Yeah, I mean, he would be impossible to display because you can't put another figure beside him like on 2 inches on each side. There's no space.
I think, as I've probably mentioned before, I think my main issue with the train bots is the amount of clear plastic that they're made from. All those windows, all those big panels are all clear plastic. Doesn't mean they'll turn to dust and just explode in the future, but there's always, that worrying potential because they all seem to be on... all those folding panels seem to be on pins, and the pin joints are usually ones that clear plastic doesn't like very much. So you look at it and you go, are you going to die? I hope not. Because you're like, can you imagine all 6 of your train bots just slowly exploding all at once combined together? That's a bad day. That's a real bad day.
Train-mageddon or something like that.
Yeah, like Carmageddon, but with trains.
With trains.
A lot more restricted than
That would
Carmageddon.
be a terrible game, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you need to have very specific setups to kill people in that game.
Imagine, hit all of the zombies. And it's like, well, I can't.
They're not on the tracks.
They're not all on the best of the track.
Yeah.
Do I have to entice them onto the track? That could be the game mechanic. Entice the zombies onto the track and then get them.
That was the benefit of Astro Train. He was never constricted to the rails. And yet the
He was
Japanese
never
train
ridden
bots
on them
were.
often, was he?
No, he
In the
doesn't
film,
give a
he's
shit.
just kind of like just going to drive along Autobot City.
Just think
and
he'd
take
ruined
off.
so many roads, technically, just driving down the city.
Friction wouldn't be his friend, would it?
Nah, it didn't matter. It's robot metal. It's fine. Don't worry about it. He lubes up his
Well,
wheels
and
as
the
he
one time-
goes.
And with
The one
Jason
time he was on
the
tracks
Autobots,
in All Hail Megatron, it didn't end well for anyone around him.
No,
So
it didn't.
That's true.
Quite
Yeah,
right.
that's a good point.
Definitely
Well,
with Jason on the aerial bots there.
what's that? Sorry.
Definitely with Jason on the aerial bots. 'Cause
Yeah.
wings will always look better than train parts.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a statement. Wow, that's a little bit of trainer hatred on the show, which I don't endorse, to be honest. But to each their own.
He could get cancelled for that, couldn't he?
Oh, definitely.
It
This
is
day
the
and age.
internet now.
Sheesh,
Crumbs.
boys. Whoo,
We
sheesh.
better edit that out.
Did you say crumbs?
Train bastards.
Calm down, Gromit. Or Wallace. Which one was which? Next up, it's you, Jason, isn't it? You're talking next. You're talking now. What would we get next?
oh, how nice! I'm allowed to talk. Great.
Yeah.
All right, so we have official info on the Super 7 Transformers Reaction Wave 6. So, of course, these are the Super 7 toys. The Reaction Wave are the... I think you can't really put them into a certain size because some are bigger than others, but they're mostly about a 3-inch size for the regular size ones, I think they're about.
Generally speaking, yeah, I think so. That's what the human-sized ones are. Like you say, I don't know about the Transformer ones. I think they scale a bit differently for them, but...
Yeah, because I know like Grimlock is bigger than Prime is.
Yeah.
They're actually fairly close to scale, I believe, which let's start a scale conversation. That always ends well. So yeah, we're at three. Okay, they're 3 3/4 inch. Got it. Thank you. So yeah, we're on wave 6 now. So there's been 5 waves of these things already, which is crazy. I like them, but I also don't want to spend almost $20 a pop for them. So that's why I haven't really started collecting them.
Nice.
There's a lot here, so I don't know that I want to necessarily list. Well, actually, you know what? There's not that many. I'm sorry. But yeah, we've got a G1 Sharkticon. We have the original toy prototype Unicron, aka diabetic Unicron on a food bender. We have G1 Ultra Magnus, G1 Cyclonus, G1 Quintesson, which actually the Quintesson looks pretty cool, and G1 Wreck-Gar. Prices, and the prices even vary a little bit. For instance, the Sharkticon is $20 US. Unicron is 24, so I'm assuming he'll be a little bigger. But then the rest of them, it's showing Magnus, Cyclonus, the Quintesson, and Wreck-Gar's all being about $20 as well. So that's a pretty good sign, and it makes sense that Unicron might be... he's a giant 6-inch figure. It says they're right in the picture, which is also about the same size as their Devastator. Which I have seen in person, and again, looks really good, but I just can't bring... If I was to get one of these, it would be... I don't know. That's not a rabbit hole I want to go down. Even as tempting as it is to get Dead Optimus Prime, yes, that's what he's called, folks. Haven't quite got... I don't know. I might pick up the Sharkticon. I won't lie. If I see the Sharkticon in a store, I might pick him up because he looks like such a good little boy. So yeah, Andy, what do you think? You grabbing them? You like them? Or you're just obsessed with Unicron? Let's be honest.
I think the Unicron's really neat. I love the idea that after all these years, technically someone or people will be able to own the prototype design. I think that's a great idea. Do I want these? Not particularly. I think these are also, I must have said it before, these are really good for mint on card collectors because they don't do much. Yeah, you can get them to hold a gun, and that's about it. But I think these look way better actually on the card than they do anywhere else. The variety of like figures that they're doing is really expanded with this wave. Like, there's a load of like really interesting guys. Not only the Unicron, but the Quintesson, the Sharkticon, and not so much Dead Prime. That's just shitty repaint. Alphatron's there. That's cool. Animation accurate. Astro Train. It's all like pretty good. I'm surprised they are not selling like Rumble and Frenzy together in like a small pack. Like, they'd be half the size and you get 2 of them together. Maybe that'd be a nice idea. I don't think they're going to do that, but overall I think what these are, they're Funko Pops effectively, but there's a lot more effort behind these than Funko Pops. And the fact that they did the Unicron, I'm down with. I think that's really neat. If they could do more of this stuff, like do the They fucked up. They should do the shitty RC figure as well. You know, the concept RC figure. They should do her.
Oh God.
Yeah, with the weird hips and head. That'd be fun. They're doing the Unicron, so.
If they want to do a shitty RC, they should just do Masterpiece RC. Ooh.
Hey, ooh, lads. Ooh, fuck. Jesus. Ooh.
Right into the shins.
Yeah, Jesus. What do you think, Brad? Do you like these?
I think they're too expensive for what they are.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they don't transform, so it's a bit like, well, I'm not going to put that much money down for something like this. But one of my mates, Dave Shotton, Don't Keep Dave on YouTube, he collects hot rods. So when the hot rod was released, he was like, oh yeah, straight in there, bought, gets a new hot rod. So he loves it when like his favorite character is released. So if you've got a favorite character and you want to collect all the figures of your favorite character, then I think it's a cool thing to do. It's one of those things like I'm glad they exist, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe them for me as well, for the most part. They are neat, but not for me. There's something I like to see in a toy store, like as I walk past the shelves and go, oh, look at that, and then just keep walking. Neat. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem is I've never seen Prime in the store, because I probably would have gotten Prime. That Devastator looks really nice. I haven't seen him either, but yeah, I think Brad was kind of get onto something here. This isn't. I mean, sure, they would love it if you did buy all this, and like Andy said, I'm sure mint on card buyers probably do grab them all. But I think this is a line very much geared towards. Oh, my favorite Transformers when I was young. I'll pick up a 3-inch figure of that for $20. Sure, I'll do that. I think these are almost impulse buy type things in that regard, especially if you're like a fan of Hot Rod or something like that. So yeah, I definitely see that might be the biggest benefit of these to people, is just like a nice little. Oh, I have a Jazz on my desk. It's the first Jazz I've owned in 30 years. Awesome.
Is it bad that I've got this idea of like a little old granny going into the store and being like, my son likes transforming toys, and picks these up and gives them to her son, and it's like, oh, thanks, Gran, but why don't you like it? It's like, it doesn't transform. It's like, but it says it's a transformer. It's like, oh, no. It's like you bought a knockoff. It's
in two minds, because like the Action Masters are amazing, but these are like almost the same thing, but the Action Masters were cheap toys, weren't they?
They were much
affordable
cheaper.
Action figures, whereas these are a premium price nearly. They're almost the same price as the deluxe.
I would always say my issue with the Action Masters is their hip joints were bad. They were badly designed for the most part, and they used that weird metal ball pin connected to a rubber ring, and those things, even like old school GI Joes died, like just because of those rubber rings. If they could bring back Action Masters, make them look like that, and just fix their joints, that'd be all right. And I guess they tried to do that with the Red Line series, but they were shit apparently, because Jason got them and he said they were crap. Did you get any Red Line series, Brad?
No, Leffy buys them. And I've had to go at a few of his, and they're a mixed bag. What he's shown me is nice, but then what I've seen of other figures, he had RC from Prime, and that was really nice. I think that's the one he had. But other ones I've seen have just been a bit like, well, that's just a plastic wedge with a couple of paint apps on it. And you want me to pay that for it? It's like, no.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
No, sir.
And actually, I almost pointed out earlier when we were talking about the Magic Square Prime, there literally is red Prime from Wave 1 there to compare it against, which apparently TFW is just trying to trigger me. But yeah, I've heard Vangelis, I think last week, mentioned that the red Galvatron actually feels like a Marvel Legends figure, which is what I thought these were going to be. Oh. So maybe they are kind of moving more towards not being feeling like crappy vinyl toys. But yeah, that Prime Megatron in Soundwave, I know some people are like, what do you mean by hand feel? But they just feel so cheap and flimsy. It's not fun.
It's still bizarre that Hasbro weren't able to get action figures to feel right. It just doesn't make any sense. It's so odd. Anyway, this is going to be probably quite a short one, but hey, there's another trailer, like a third teaser trailer now for Earthspark. Oh God, we can't play because it's got incredibly loud music. Never mind. The reason I brought this today was because I wanted really to ask Brad what he thinks of the look of Earthrise. There are a few new clips and swindles in. We'll go through the photos and whatnot. But what are your thoughts generally on how Spark looks at the moment, Brad? Even though it's super early days.
This is actually the first time in quite a few years where I've thought, I might actually watch this.
Oh wow.
Not that I've hated anything. Like I didn't watch any of. Is it Cyberverse?
Cyberverse, yeah, that was the last
I
one.
saw maybe one or two of that, and that looked pretty cool, and everyone said it was all right, but it wasn't quite along the same lines as maybe like animated or Prime was probably the best that's come out in years. I'll check it out. It looks okay. I'm just glad this stuff is still coming out and there's still a cartoon to get the kids into it, you know, because we need that next generation coming up still, so we can keep our transforming toys alive.
That's true. That's true.
But this looks like it could be fun. I might watch some of it. We'll see.
What do you think of the new introductions then, Jason? Because we've got Swindle, as we can see, and the Skull Cruncher looks like Cyberverse Skull Cruncher from the designs. It looks exactly the same, at least.
Yeah, and I think even I'm trying to find a picture. I think Bumblebee even has a little bit of Cyberverse in them too, versus like Evergreen. Yeah, and Swindle looks good. Of course, it's hard. It's hard to have a bad looking Swindle. Swindle always looks good. But so apparently, judging by, and I haven't watched this because why are we do a freaking trailer? Stop the stupid teasers.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're saying that the two new bots are bonded to the kids.
Yeah, that's what we got from the very first trailer. The kids have like these weird, like, you can see if you're looking at the stream, the little kid, you can see a little glove on her hand, and that it means that they're bonded and they can feel and think the thoughts of the kids, and the Transformers can hear their thoughts as well.
Oh, yeah, you can tell I didn't pay as much attention to that.
It's just as well that the Transformers aren't bonded to like a 15-year-old boy. That would be
I was about
bad.
to say, like, that could get a bit sketchy,
Yeah,
couldn't it?
like
'Cause
imagine Jack from Prime and RC. It's like, oh no, this relationship's gone downhill.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, that'd be.
Oh, no.
That'd be so weird.
Jack's mum and
She
Optimus
hears-
Prime. It's like, hey, Optimus Prime, calm down, Jack's mum. Jesus Christ. You saucy little minx, you.
Not again. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Hold your breath.
Also,
Skull Cruncher,
if,
though,
like
it's
one
nice
of
to
the,
see him get some love. Sorry, Jason.
no, you're fine. If one of the kids gets stepped on, like, what's that do to the Transformer? Oh,
I don't think they die.
well, no. But let me tell you, what was the girl's name in Prime? I can never remember her name.
Miko.
Miko. Miko should have died 1,000 times on that show. She went through the land bridge, the space bridge by herself. She'd like run at Decepticons because she was mad at them. She should have been stepped on 1,000 times.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
you know, hey, something could happen. These kids could, you know, Swindle. He don't care. He just wants to make money.
Child death.
Yeah.
Child death for financial gain.
We had Cliffjumper die at the beginning of Prime, so maybe that would be a bold step. We have a kid die at the beginning scenes of like Earthrise. Everyone's like, oh, Earthrise looks like a baby's Transformer show. Child dies. Like, whoa, Jesus, okay. Stepping up now, I guess. What do we think of Giga Chad Chin Prime? Because I know, like, it's not on these images for some reason, but Jason, I know that you put up an image of Prime with his faceplate down.
He's got some cheekbones, man. Let me tell you.
He does. He looked really weird. Don't do that, Prime. We don't need to see you without a faceplate if you've got like a normal human dude face, which he did.
I mean, in this day and age, Botox is everywhere, isn't it? Even in my dentist is just like has just started doing Botox. So it is what it is, isn't it?
Do you mean they've had Botox, or they're trying to sell it on you while they're doing your teeth?
They're trying to sell it. They're trying to sell it to me.
Why?
They've gone like, Brad's nearly 40. He must need Botox right about now.
That's a bit mean, isn't it? While they're working on your teeth and cleaning your plaque, and they're just like, you look old, mate.
It was through the format of email, which you can be 10 times more impolite through email.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the anonymity of the internet has also reached the dentist's office?
Oh, big time.
Damn, son.
We're now offering this. You're quite old. Do this.
Oh, have they offered you lip
like
fillers?
Well, I'm quite conscious about that, about how plump and juicy my lips are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good for
it's
you.
working.
Yeah. Wow, good for them.
But yeah, if Prime starts to, you know, if he's got some high cheekbones and some juicy lips, I'm well in for that.
Damn. All right, rock and roll.
I brought it back into context. Right?
We need like a full-on proper trailer, and hopefully we'll get that proper trailer. No teaser trailer next week. Just like if there is a trailer, proper trailer, and then just put out the show. Just do that. No more.
Yeah, we're not
get on
that.
with it,
It's
isn't it?
coming. There's only a few more months in the year. It's coming out in November. Give us a freaking trailer.
Yeah, it's time. Jason, you are a man who is famous in halls. So why don't you tell us about the Transformers Hall of Fame? Or something. I don't know.
I am well known
Segues.
for my work in hallways. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. So from the official Transformers Instagram page has updated with 2 categories for the Transformers Hall of Fame. We are voting for your favorite character from Transformers Legacy, and in honor of Derek Wyatt, which is cool.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
also Transformers. Yeah, Transformers. Oh wait, I read that wrong. Legacy, and in honor of the late great Derek J. Watt, as I read that correctly, our favorite character from Transformers Animated. Apparently, they are saying here TWF is or TFW is doing a little editorializing, if I will. Naval Prime is apparently their vote, which is fine with them. So yeah, you can go to the link in the link inside the link TFW and vote. I will say personally, I have already voted, and my vote for animated was in fact for Hound, and I can't remember who my legacy character. I think it was Laser Prime. I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Hound.
So
From Animated.
yeah. Sorry, Prow.
Okay, Jesus. I was like, what? What? Hound.
Yeah, I don't know where I got it. Oh, you know why? Because I was looking at the picture and I saw Bulkhead and he's green. And for some reason, even though I know that's Bulkhead, I'm fully aware that's Bulkhead. I thought green, Hound.
Damn, son.
But
they're different
yeah,
robots,
so-
man.
Okay, so since you're giving me crap, I'm gonna go to Brad. Brad, who's your vote?
I just voted as we were talking. So
Oh.
animated, I went for Blitzwing.
Oh,
Okay.
I love Blitzwing, and that, do you know? And it's not because of the multiple personalities, though that is cool. It's that tank mode. I love that tank mode.
Little
It's the
square, little
cutest little
squished.
squashy. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
tanks from Metal Slug. Something like that. I love that little kind of like design sensibility. That's the wrong word.
It
What we say
works.
in Wales, I guess.
It works.
I love Blitzwing and animated, and even the toy, which I sold a long time ago. I wish I hadn't. Even the toy I thought was okay. They never quite nailed Blitzwing. You always have to accept the shortcuts they have with Blitzwing, and that's the same on all Blitzwing toys. But yeah, that animated one was great. And I voted for Motormaster in Legacy because he's just. Motormaster.
Do you vote for Motormaster? Is Motormaster like your most recent Legacy purchase, or are you?
No.
No. Is he legit your
I've,
favorite one from Legacy at the moment?
Yeah, he's the one I spent most time with. He arrived when I had COVID, so I spent a lot of time playing with Motormaster, and
Nice.
Although you can find faults with anything, I can't focus on a fault with him. It's just like, this toy's amazing. Down
okay.
to the little trucks in his feet that you turn around. Just like, oh my god, they even did that. Cheaty trucks.
I mean, I think if you're a fan of Menasor, that figure's gonna look great when he's combined for sure.
I can't wait for that.
I'm assuming at some point we should be getting an announcement for Breakdown at some
PulseCon is
point.
at the end of the month, I believe.
Yeah, I
So-
think it's the 30th or something.
Oh,
So they have to show him there. They have to. It's about time that they showed the
Yeah.
last guy.
They must do.
Yeah.
There's also rumours of like Armada, Hotshot, and Megatron.
That's what I
Which would
heard.
be-
Yeah.
Triple tasty times.
But will they show them at the thing? That's the thing. Will they show one thing at PulseCon, or will they show actually a few interesting things? That's the question. I'm looking
I mean,
forward
it's a whole
to it.
brand panel. They'll probably show a lot.
You'd hope so, yeah. And hopefully, again, like we said before, it won't all get leaked. I haven't done any voting for this myself because I know that it doesn't mean anything, and that's the problem. Because at one point, this did mean something. We know for a fact that the animated one unfortunately doesn't mean anything because it doesn't filter into Legacy to making animated like characters that look like the characters instead of it just being the namesake for the most part. In terms of like a favorite Legacy character, I've only really got I've got 3. I've got the 2 Stunticons and Kickback. And I don't know which one I'd like the most out of the 3 of them. I'd probably go with Motormaster, but I don't have him because I don't have like the money for him just yet, and I'd like him to go down in price, to be honest. But I know probably people would throw down Jahaxes as well. He's meant to be really well received in the community, which is really good to see. Real Jahaxes, not just like a weird repaint of Armada Starscream. So that's good. But yeah, I don't have too much to say on the vote. I kind of wish that the vote played into something more than just being like, here's a random thing that doesn't really filter into anything.
I heard that this was where Hulk Hogan ended up after he was kicked out of the WWE Hall of Fame.
What, specifically the Transformers Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he just ended up there.
Ah,
'Cause everyone who's kicked out of a Hall of Fame has to end up in another Hall of Fame. That's the rules of Hall of Fames.
damn.
But it's like a lottery then. You just kind of show up in one and you're out of place. That's part of the punishment. It's like purgatory in Hall of Fame terms.
Oh, damn. See, I've been to 2 Hall of Fames, and they were quite fun. The ceremonies, not the actual places, and it was all right. They went on for a little bit, but I was like, no, it's fun. It's fun. I got to see Eddie Guerrero get initiated into a Hall of Fame, and I was like, that's cool. I liked Eddie Guerrero. He was fun. He was a good boy. But let's move on to the last story of the night, which is just a quickie. It's going to be TFCon Chicago, 21st of October, 23rd of October. Aaron Archer, the man who designed loads of toys, loads of toys. He's going to be there. If you want to go and talk to him about transforming figures that transform, and tell him that you made you didn't make his favorite one. He made your favorite one. That makes more sense. He'll be there, and that'll be fun. So yeah, I think that's all of the news. I don't think, Brad, you're probably not going to TFCon Chicago this year.
I'm just glad conventions are happening with guests.
But you're not going.
In the world.
You're not going.
No. I've spent all my my Chicago travel money on. I think it's too early for me to say.
Oh, peanut butter and bread again.
Well, I don't need any bread. I've got you two.
Oh, that's true. Damn. See, this is how we switch it back to the start of the show. What a good man. This is what a good guest is, Jason. You could take some notes.
I refuse. I don't ever want to be a good guest.
I'm desperate never to come back. That's fair.
So desperate, I'm getting surgery.
Brad, have you ever been tempted or had the inclination to go to any of these big American TFCons? Because TFCon's really the big one now that exists rather than BotCon.
You went to BotCon that one year, didn't you?
Yeah, I went in 2011. Yeah.
I'd love to, but at the same time, I think I'd lose that kind of community spirit that exists in something like TF Nation. I mean, maybe like 10 years ago when you could meet up with like Dennis, Eros One, and Alicon Andy, and that kind. There was kind of an American bunch of guys that knew all of us guys, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But now I think that community will be like a little bit lost on me, so it might be a bit more of like a solitary convention.
That's why you get the boys, you get the lads together, and you all go as a posse.
Big team.
Yeah, exactly.
Big team. I'd love to go if I had the money, but nah. I mean, it's more about the social side of it for me, and I
fair.
think TF Nation has got that kind of good balance of like that local feeling with like the big convention feeling. I'd still go. I'm being really indecisive. Yes, I'd go, definitely.
I'd still like to do TFCon in the future one day, but I would do what I did with BotCon and kind of tie it in. It wouldn't be the main thing I'd go for, but it would be one of the things I'd do along the way. So it'd be like middle of the journey. I'd be like, here's TFCon, and I enjoy that for the 3 days, and then I go and do the rest of like Canadian things that you can do, like punch mooses and whatnot. You know. Yeah, but that's all the things news-wise we've done this week, or that's happened. I guess we can move on to what we did this week. What fun things have been going on in the world of Brad, Andy, and Jason? Who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about the things that they've done? Who should I put on the spot? Should we go with Brad? Should we put Brad on the spot? What are you doing?
Sure.
Guesting on the spot. This week?
Yeah, this week. What are you doing?
It's been pretty. Well, I'm back at work this week after 6 weeks off, so it's actually been really nice to just kind of get back into a routine of school, because I miss routines in the holidays. I'm not complaining about having 6 weeks off, but I like having a routine.
Having a structure, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a very structured kind of person. So what else have I done? I've done a bit of skateboarding this week again. I've been doing skateboarding lessons for about 6, 7, 8 a year. So yeah, done that. Been skateboarding today. A little bit of training, and just mainly. Oh, I filmed a video today as well.
Ooh, when's that going up?
Filmed a review. Hopefully next weekend. I've got a week to edit it now, but that's on another power core compliant figure.
Oh man.
Those power cores. So that'll be going up hopefully soon. But apart from that, it's just been a get back into the work routine, make sure you get plenty of sleep kind of week. And looking after Digimon.
That sucks. Digimon. Yeah, I saw in chat, and there was a little bit of what's Brad up to with Digimon.
I've got my mate at TF Nation, Johnny. You might have met. Actually got me into Digimon, so I've got 2 Digimon at the moment.
Oh wow!
And it's harder work than looking after a class full of 30 children.
I remember like when Digimon came into the school, and I was like, oh, I've got one of those, and they're like, oh, we can battle, and I brought mine in, and mine was the Jurassic Park Tamagotchi, and everyone was disappointed, and so was I. Yeah. Jason, Tamagotchi, do you have them? Had them?
I'm aware of them. I never had one.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess someone wasn't part of the Cool Kids club.
No, never.
Well, all right. Fair play. Jason, what you been up to this week? What are you doing for fun? You bought anything? You done anything? You danced? Bungee jumped? I asked you that earlier, and you said no, and I was disappointed.
I mean, dancing is just a part of my daily routine for sure. So
that's true.
That's nothing new.
That's true.
I mean, no, not a lot. Just getting ready for, not being off my feet for a few days. Again, nothing serious, but I'm sure I won't feel like doing much for a day or two after the fact.
Oh, he's coming back to streaming straight after surgery.
I mean, if there's a day where I can't go, I don't feel like going to work, but I could possibly sit in a chair for an hour and do that. Hey, who knows? The only thing I did that was it is Transformers related, but I finally started a while back. I asked people which flame toy kit I should do next, and Windblade was the actual winner. So I went through. I haven't done a lot. I've just done her head, but I did it because I wanted to try out some of the because I got the Tamiya panel liner recently. So that's this. It's in a bottle. You take it out. There's a fine point brush, and you just kind of dip it into the lines, the panel line basically, and cleaned it up with some lighting fluid. It actually worked out pretty well, and I don't think it's even going to show up so it does zoom on it. It's probably not going to show up great, but I think the panel liner is great. I used the little fine tip pens before, and this just fills it in so much better and more consistently, I think. So I'm glad I invested in that. And again, that's another thing where maybe I'm feeling decent, but maybe I'll be on pain medication, so I can't, actually log on to work or anything. Maybe I'll just put Windblade together or something like that.
How do you get rid of your nubs, Brad, when you model kit? Because Brad's a Gundamer.
Oh yeah.
Gundamer. Big Gundamer. So I'll cut it off with snips. If there's a bit left, okay. I'll kind of like do my best to get rid of it with a scalpel. But I am clumsy, and I often like just gouge crap out. But if there's a tiny little nub, I'll actually scrape over it with my nail, and that does better than any file. It does better than any kind of like, I suppose, sandpaper or anything. If you just scratch it with your nail, sometimes it just gets rid of the nub way tidier than you could with. I find that's the best way to do it.
You've never been the guy to go in with like 5 or 6 different grains of sandpaper.
Oh, I have. I've got like a million sanding sticks, and like then you end up sanding the whole piece, and it's just staying there for like if you're there for like an hour on the one piece, and it's really satisfying. Actually, it's one of the parts I really enjoy about Gundam building, because I find it so satisfying bringing a shine back to a piece of plastic. But for speed's sake, because I don't build as many as I'd like to, I just scratch it off with the scalpel and then get my nail over it as long as it's level. And that seems to get rid of a lot like the white marks you get on the plastic and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty tidy. I suppose it depends what plastic it is as well. Some plastics, like you take off the sprue and there's just a white sea across it because the plastic's so like brittle. Yeah. And there's quite a lot of sprues now where you get like that really nice kind of rubbery plastic, or not rubbery plastic, but it's like soft plastic. And it just comes out the sprue like butter.
I think it depends on the color as well. Like sometimes the color of the plastic, if it's red, it usually leaves quite a red and black. Really like, oh man, dark blue's terrible for leaving nub marks. It sucks.
Yeah,
you can kind of tell by as soon as you pull it out of the sprue out of the box, you can tell by the sound it makes. If it doesn't make too much of an echoey sound, then it's gonna what's it called? It's going to nub down nicely.
The worst Gundam kits, like some of the old ones I've had, you pull out the sprue and you hear that hollow almost tang to it, and you're like, styrene, oh no, yeah, ugh. Yeah. And you snip into it and it sounds like it's just exploding. Like, ugh.
They kind of fall off the shelf and they do this instead of falling down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Acting like, yeah.
Have you bought any new Gundam kits actually. 'Cause I know
Yeah.
young Mikey has been really after a lot of the expensive like Bandai PB kits recently.
The P Bandai stuff.
Yeah, Mikey wants
It's
what is
so
it? The
hard to get
Ghost?
hold of.
Is it the Ghost? The green one with the purple flames coming off of it?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
It's the one from Crossbones.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I know the one.
Yeah, he's after that one.
When I go through the Gundam news sites, I just scroll until I don't see something that begins with P Bandai. So I miss a lot of them. But I've got. I'm currently building the Master Grade Virtue from 00, which is I've had it for ages.
It's a big kit.
Yeah, it's a really big kit. It's like I think it's the biggest box I've ever had for a Gundam actually, because you basically build two of them, don't you? With the Navi
Effectively.
inside, but it is beautiful. I've been getting some of the battle log kits as well. So I've got like the Command Urban Ground type or something, and I've got the new. Oh, I'll show you if you want. Hang on.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
There it is. Oh no, that's the Urban type.
Yeah.
There we go. That. The Command Quanta, which is another 00 kit. But my mate had this when I went around his house, and I ordered it. Oh no, I bought it in Leicester. Bought it straight away because I was like, that looks amazing. So I like these kind of. I'm really into these kind of like hybrid kits that come out in Battlelog and Build Divers and all that kind of stuff. That's my jam at the moment.
I like how they're almost like previews of some future kits. Like there was
like they did with the Shenlong.
That was the one I was exactly going to mention as well, because it's like granted the Shenlong that's coming out looks a lot better than the one from Build Divers. I think my issue with the Shenlong is I think they're kind of cheaped out on the shoulders, and they've given him like green stickers for the shoulders when it's like, just make that like a clear plastic piece. It would have looked a lot better, but can't always be perfect.
They're still not quite there with the stickers, are they?
Yeah, well, no, the stickers are never going to be good. They're never going to work.
Yeah, they never like work out properly. My mate got the heavy arms and ended up painting parts of it, because I think it's orange, red, and blue, and I think the red part, orange, red, and white, and I think the red parts were stickers on his chest, and it's a bit like
on the high grade.
High grade.
No, I've got the high grade. The thing, like he's on the other side of the living room, but the stickers I remember most are the little blue ones on the V-fin on his boobs, basically, and that's about it. So because they weren't bad. I mean, they weren't great, but yeah, I mean they're only small ones.
I might get it if it's a decent high grade then.
Yeah, I mean, there's a website I could probably send you, which usually has the build of them, but it never has them with the stickers on, so you can see effectively how good it looks. It's a pretty good site. We need to get Jason into making Gundams.
If you're like in that.
I mean, I have 3 kits.
Yeah, but you haven't built them.
No, I have. Well, I did buy. I mean, I built the 100 scale, that cheaper RX-78.
Was it the entry grade?
No, I think it was a high grade.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think. Yes, the 144. I have the 100 scale. I have the 100 scale.
But I've got the basic RX, and it's lovely.
Yeah. So I've got what Andy you showed me, and I got the Death Scythe, so I have that one.
The Endless Waltz Death Scythe Master Grade, wasn't it?
Yeah, Endless Waltz, right. I have Crossbones, and then the version 3, the RX-78, the 100 or the
Master
100 scale, I think. Yeah, I think they're in the closet. Otherwise, I grab them real quick. But no,
I keep trying to bully people into real grades. That's what I like. But the real grade, they don't do nearly enough real grades for my liking. Like 2 a year, and that's it.
They're like, there's some really, really lovely ones. But then I built a Zeta, and I put it down on, because it transforms obviously, but it's not a very good build. So as soon as you put it down on the shelf and pose it, it just goes. It just flexes and falls over.
Yeah, that's the problem with the real grade. It's like. They're really good, but only from a specific point. Before that, they get really ropey. Unfortunately, it's like damn. Oh, I still want to get the Burning Gundam, God Gundam, because that real grade looked amazing. It looks really good. But bring out the Master Gundam. That's all I'm saying. It's the best one.
Just all the country's kits, all the country's suits as high grades would be lovely, like the Rose Gundam and the Gundam Max. They've never done them.
Tequila Gundam, I felt cheated by Build Divers because they showed like a new version of the Tequila Gundam. I was like, they'll make a kit of that, and they never did it. They never did it.
They didn't. No.
It's cheeky, mean.
It is.
Have you been up to much else, Jason, or was that it? Just building your wind blade?
No, it's been a pretty low key week, so not much to report, unfortunately.
You not even watched anything cool?
No, I haven't even
Oh,
watched
no.
anything really. Just
Damn,
a little
son.
bit of just my usual, 8 channels, YouTube channels I always watch. But... well, I don't think Abroad in Japan even put out a video this week, so I couldn't watch any of that.
No.
think-
He's been doing the big ride across Japan with Connor, so he's been too busy
Right,
with that.
Looking forward to that.
Same, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
and-
Do you listen to the podcast as well?
Trash Taste.
And
I dip in and out. Oh, do you mean the Chris Abroad one?
Abroad in Japan.
No, I
Is
haven't
it-
listened
is
to
it-
that one.
Oh, it's good. He does a good podcast with Pete Donaldson.
Oh, he does it with Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good
cool.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see Pete was live stream. He was IRL streaming in Paris this week, so he's traveling with I think it's cousin, he said. So I did tune into that for a little bit, and I think Connor's just taking a week off from streaming just because he
Lazy.
literally just streamed for a week straight.
Lazy.
He's lazy. Yeah, exactly. Come on, Sea Dog, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Takes a week off.
Yeah, so not even, and I've caught a couple bits of a couple of your streams this week, but that's usually dinner time and just trying to get stuff ready after the fact and things like that. But again, should have plenty of time this week, so who knows?
Hey. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I've been streaming No Man's Sky, so I've been playing a bit of that. It's not bad. It's quite a fun little game. It's got. I think the issue is it's kind of like Minecraft. It just kind of dumps you into the world. It feels in a lot of ways, and you go, "Oh, holy shit! There's a lot of things here. What do I do?" Especially the beginning half of the game, the tutorial, because it literally drops you on a planet and goes, "You don't have any shields. You're dying. You better find the thing that you need to survive." And most of the time, that stuff you need to survive is a bit of a walk away. So it kind of throws you into the thick of things a little bit too quickly, I think, in some ways. But I like going around exploring new planets. That's quite fun. One thing I'd like there to be in the game is, like, specifically, you could build a ship. Like, if you could go, like, I want to build a hauler, I want to build a fighter, and you could design it how you like. Maybe
It's all modular, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
You can tell all the designs are modular. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, so if you could, like, actually decide, like, I want this shape, I want these bits here and these bits here, that'd be fun. But maybe they offset it by going, oh, it's really expensive to do that. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I don't mind that, as long as it was an option. It'd be a lot better than just kind of rolling the ball on, does it have the stats that you want? Is it the right grade that you want? And does it look cool, or does it look like a lump of crap? Who knows? And do you have the money
You
for
stand
it?
on the landing platforms and wait for cool ones to land, and then go and
Oh
check
my
them out.
god! Like,
It's fun, but at the same time, it's like that one looks shit. That one
my
looks
stream
shit.
yesterday was me and Daddy were just like standing in the space station for hours, just like, is this
Watching
one
them
good? Nope. Can I? Oh, this one's. He'd go. Daddy would be like, "Oh, this one's really good," Andy. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is. Oh, it's 30 million. I have 8.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to being able to afford it. Not even close." So I've been playing that. That's been fun. I caught up with Made in Abyss, with Futo Tante. What else did I watch? I think I watched another episode of something. What was it? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I didn't. I watched those 2 at least, and they were both really good, as usual. If you like Kamen Rider Double, keep on watching Futo Tentai, because it's just a continuation of Double. I've said it quite a few times. It's nice to see Fang Joker moving on screen in animation form. That was kind of cool. And yeah, it's fun. I don't know, again, if it's something that someone who's never watched a Kamen Rider show could get into. Maybe it is. But yeah, it's good. The only other thing was I got the New Age Hephaestus. What's it called? The Legend Heroes Hephaestus. We can actually get them on screen. Boom. So I got the G2 because of course we did. Why not? I got Scrapper, Mixmaster, and the boys. They're all really good. I'm shocked how good these things are. The little boys. Like, one of the things that I wasn't too sure on was when I put together the legs. I didn't have, like, these bits covering them up, and then I figured, oh, you unfold these bits and you tab them in. I was like, what the hell? Wow, I was really impressed. There's a lot of, like, I love how there's no focus. There's a lot of, like, panels folding up and all that kind of jazz. They've even got, like, for Legend Skills figures. Scrapper. There you go. He's got a little opening hand as well. I'm shocked how good they are. They're super posable. The one that's least... We'll just knock them over, why not? The one that's least posable is Hook. Mainly because he's got his little chin nipples, so he can't really turn his head at all. He's kind of locked in just, again, due to the shoulder pads. And no waist articulation, because, you can pull him apart, in theory. Oh, you can. You can see the joint there. You pull them apart so you can separate them into... I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to break it. You can separate them just so you can get them into the hook mode. But they're all just like great. There's even a little bit of diecast. Like Longhaul has diecast metals in his shins. I don't know why, but he does. I'm in to this train of the New Age stuff. Now, obviously, the New Age figure had the downside potentially of like, you've got to mush him together with a giant torso of Devastator, and you do.
Oh well.
I don't have hands anywhere near as delicate as yours.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not saying you've got delicate feminine hands. I don't have hands that are capable of holding things as delicately as yours.
Thank you.
I
I
would
appreciate that.
Smoosh those to pieces. But they look. I feel like we're owed like a decent set of Constructicons. I don't feel like we're owed anything. That's
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we
need
are.
a decent set of like chug Constructicons because the other ones were just massive chunks of chunk.
They were too
Yeah.
big
Like
for
a
what they
deluxe.
were.
Just give me a normal size set of Constructicons.
I'm just shocked how good this is. I don't know how well Metasaur turns out in comparison, but it's the same idea. I think this is the optimal way to get combiners to work. You can remove his sunglasses if you want. He's got a light in his head. There's a switch there for it. There's lights and sounds in the gun if you've got the batteries for it. And it's, again, just superposable. Just spread the legs a little bit. Yeah, it's great.
Is that torso one of the Constructicons then, or is it like a separate part?
No, it's an entire separate part. Like, Longhaul goes into the back. He's the most worthless one, but he always has been. He just kind of fills out that hole in the back.
Just kind of jam them on the torso.
The way that... Hang on. Again, this is awkward just because of the way I'm sitting. So, Longhaul, you open up the back and then you peg him in. And then you kind of close it up and lock him in there. With Hook, we've got pegs in the top, which we kind of... like that. Then we pull the sides down. And we do the other side. And then one more side. And then you just kind of unflip his entire head. And then fold it back up and tidy him up that way. It's neat.
Super interesting.
And then the Bone Crusher and Scavenger just kind of peg on the side. And they kind of hook there. It's really interesting. I'd show you how it's done, but I don't have the time to transform all of the boys back into the vehicle modes and slap them together. But it's like, really, I'm shocked how... Like, they got ankle tilts, bro. Little tiny ankle tilts.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah,
like,
outside of Hook, I think they all look really... Hook does seem a little simpler than the other ones, but...
Yeah, that's just the
they do
necessity
look-
of like folding in half in robot mode.
Right, but I
they're
think
great.
I think Gravity Builder was the first one of like the I think first one of third party at all that had like, because he was just I think just the like the crotch and thigh and like the upper part of the leg was just a separate piece, but he looks so good in combined mode. I can't see why people would be upset about it, just because you're not going to get as good looking a toy if all the pieces have to be in the individual bots. But if you can throw like the crotch or in the case of New Age, like the torso, and just add on to it, I think that it looks so good.
I think a lot of Transformer fans want that thing of it's all built into the figure. They don't want extra parts. They just want it to do the thing. And I can appreciate that, but I think when it's a detriment to the figure and it's a detriment to the combined mode, I think this is the best solution, which is why Hasbro's doing it as well now, because they figured, hey, we can get the Stunticons looking good in the robot mode, vehicle mode, and the combined mode. I think it's the best way to go about this stuff. And New Age is a great example.
It costs far less to engineer something like that than it would to get everything working. Like you said, you're sacrificing something with each figure then as well if you're making it into like a 4-changer or whatever it would be.
I guess I wouldn't agree with it costs less. I think it probably costs more just because you've got to make effectively a big new piece that's made up of lots of other parts as well.
I mean, it might, but you're still saving costs on engineering of having all the pieces inside the toys. I think I do think. Yeah, you are paying for a specific extra mold, and molds are tens or thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. But I do think engineering wise, the time that you don't spend on engineering and the money you don't have to spend on because otherwise it's always the same thing with combiners. If the parts are all self-contained, the top of the legs always look super skinny. They never are they don't have like they're not proportioned correctly. But I think it might even be just a break even between the the cost of engineering versus having that extra just chunk. But I do think it's the way to go. I understand people not wanting it to be that way, but unless you want to start spending $1,000 on these combiners, if you want to look good, this is the way it's going to have to be, probably.
I wouldn't say you're wrong there. Yeah, because that's why long haul for the official Combiners Wars figures was so chunky. He had to be chunky because he had to be an entire waist. Like, there was no other way for him to work. He had to be pretty much the waist and the torso, or at least a good portion of it.
Can you imagine if they were sold separately and you saw that toy on the shelf? You would never buy it.
No.
You'd never buy
No.
it. Yeah.
No, there was a reason why they came in a big set, because it's like, well, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. So I'm kind of on the New Age train. I bought, it hasn't been shipped yet, but I bought Toxitron because it's Prime, but it's not Prime. So I'm like, I like Toxitron. He's based off the quote-unquote David, which is what the newer, like, there was two versions of the New Age Prime. That was the newer one. And I went, I'll get Toxitron. I'm having to pay more because he comes with a trailer. But that figure's meant to be really good. I was recommended it as well. Like, people said that's one of the good ones as well. So I was like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll go for it. I just wish New Age would do more figures that I was directly interested in. I've complained about it before. I wish the Grimlock that they're doing came in the unreleased G2 colors. The G2 Grimlock looks like the toy. That's fine. I want the yellow with the blue, the baby blue tiger stripes. That's the Grimlock I want. And I don't no one does it. Maybe they will one day. But that's really all I've been up to, I can think of. I mean, Hephaestus was the big thing, and it was the thing I was most impressed by. So I think that's our show. Do people have questions in chat that they want to ask me, the Jason, or Brad? While they line up some questions, where can people find the two of you boys on the interweb if you want them to find them or be found? Brad, where can people find you?
Brad.
I am Exilian XLR on YouTube. A lot of people say Exilian XLR, but it's actually Exilian XLR. I think a lot of people assume I mean the Cybertron figure, but it's the Galaxy Force figure. So Exilian XLR YouTube, same on Twitter, same on Instagram, toy pictures and silly toy reviews. I like Unicron trilogy figures and making fun of them. That's the kind of thing I do.
Oh, Jason, what about you? Where can people find you? Where can they touch your face and kiss your bum?
Well, they won't be touching my face and kissing my bum, unfortunately. But at least, unless they want a good time. On Twitter, you can find me at Jason S. Kirk. I'm not going to throw the Twitch out there because there's really not much of a chance I'm going to be doing anything with it, I don't think. But
if you do, I'll pimp it out. I'll pimp it out if you do something anyway.
Sure. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But no, I'd go check out Brad because I want to see him make fun of toys and all that.
Thanks, man.
Well, you can find me on Twitter, on YouTube, and Twitch as Decayed Andy, as in a rotten, decaying corpse, not as in a decade. Don't make that mistake. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, and YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're also on here, clearly, at the moment. You can find us on patreon.com/Moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2, or the whatever Teletran 2 thing that Mikey's doing for the comics. Who knows? Because I'm not touching the comics at the moment, because who would? And you get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where I talk about non-transforming things in more detail. I do plan, maybe on Tuesday, to record me talking about Stargate Season 3, Stargate SG-1 Season 3. So hopefully that'll go up at some point this week, as long as I can get my finger pulled out and time spared. Well, that's the plan anyway. Oh, ccbunker.weebly.com. We're there as well if you want to go there. Well, that's it. I don't see any messages in the chat. So I guess we could round up the show. Thank you, Jason, for coming this week. But more importantly, thank you, Brad, for joining us.
Thank you for having me both. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time and don't want to pull your eyes out.
Nice to meet Jason.
Yeah, exactly. Well... Maybe not Jason. Maybe not Jason.
Yeah. Jason's lovely. Guys used to call me Brad the Chad in the chat, though. He's quite right.
He's not wrong. I did see Giant Chat say the chattest chat we've had on Moonbase 2 in years, and I think that's fair to say. I think that's a fair comment.
I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you very much for having me.
So thank you, everybody, for watching us. And until next time, well, thank you both. And thank you, everybody. And we will see you next week for more Moonbase 2 action. We'll see you suckers next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.